Welcome back to Waypoint. Did we have an intro? We haven't recorded a regular one of these episodes in a good while
I think
now.
we just this is specifically for people, and then just do one specific thing.
A podcast specifically for people who listen to the Camp Max intermission arc. If you haven't, go back. No, you don't have to, but there's some good stuff in it. There's some good stuff in it.
This is dedicated to you listeners to listen to everything we put out. Thank you.
Yes, I saw that in the analytics. We got a lot more listens on it once it was done. So a lot of people have probably been saving it. If you've been saving it, now's the time to go back. It's Christmas break. What else are you gonna do? Or it isn't anymore. I don't know when this episode goes up. Anyways, I'm Julian, the Game Master.
And I'm Sanja, I played Charlotte.
I'm Viola, I play Moon.
And I'm Mimi, I still play Max.
Yeah, we're back. Man, feels good. Feels good to have the gang back together.
Yay.
Just in case anyone missed it, we recorded the last episode before the Camp Max arc, so this is officially the first one after all that madness that went on there.
Which means that this episode is going to be a lot of very fun. How did this system work again?
Yeah. I have to roll dice now? What?
I re-listened to the last episode to kind of refresh myself on what happened. And I was seriously like, okay, let's roll for something. I rolled a 7. How do you roll a 7? Oh, yeah, that's how this system worked. Oh, yeah, you roll 2 dice and you add them together. Wild.
What a weird thing to do in an RPG.
What a weird thing. Yeah. Anyways, If you remember where we last found us, or if you don't, I have a small little intro to lead us into it. And I'm just gonna hit you right with that. There is a tumult inside a no-name corner store on Dockside Road in Waypoint, Delaware. Screaming customers, strangers on the road trying to get a peek, a woman on the ground, and the superheroes who cornered her right in the middle of aisle 4. In other words, the worst catastrophe this shop has ever seen. Or at least in the last work week. A man in a hood who calls himself Enoch is trying to calm the people down, but turns to you as he really gets going. Alright, let's call this lesson 1. You handle the villain, I handle the civilians. That alright with you?
Moon nods.
Yes.
Alright, perfect. He turns again to the owner of the store who has not stopped screaming while he talked to you. And you stand around the woman you chased down and have now cornered in a corner store.
And I think when I looked into her mind, I found out that she wants to be a superhero and that
you
she
saw
begged us
her
not
self-image as being a superhero.
Yeah, and she begged us not to get her arrested. So Moon sort of crouches down and asks, "Who are you? Why don't you want?" I mean, I guess nobody wants to get arrested, but what's up with that?
What's the deal with not wanting to get arrested?
Yeah.
Moon, did you tell me and Max about that?
I don't think I did yet.
Okay.
Look, I've never done something like this before. I'm not gonna do it again. Just let me get away, all right? Just let me get away.
Why should I? And this is an honest interest question, not a sarcastic, passive-aggressive question.
I'm not gonna do it again.
But why did you do it in the first place?
It's money, all right? I did it for money. I was planning to steal the car and sell it to someone who buys stolen cars.
I think that's the point where Moon includes the other people. I mean, the other people specifically, Max and Charlotte. Okay, so we have a potential ally on our hands, or a thief. They just did this once to get money. Why do you need money? Also, what's your name? You're supposed to ask that, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
Cool.
I'm Gale. I don't know. What else do you want to know?
How about, if Enoch handles the civilians, how about we take this outside? Away from the screaming people, because this is very loud.
Good idea.
I grab Gale and we walk outside.
You can go back into the alleyway, right through the door.
Also, as we walk out, can I get a vibe check on Enoch?
Interesting thing you notice there is, no, you can't. You actually get nothing from Enoch.
Ooh.
complete black hole. There's nothing to read there.
Okay, this is creepy. This is extremely creepy. Guys, this person has... Does it feel like someone who has blocked, like who has trained themselves to block their thoughts, or just not something I felt, or something more than that?
It feels the closest to Dr. Supergau,
Okay.
where you just don't get anything.
Okay.
With Dr. Supergau, it was a little bit weird because you got something. It was just incomprehensible jumble.
Mhm.
With him, it's just like you notice that there's something there, but it's not something you can read. It's like it's been completely locked. He's not actively doing anything. You just can't get into it.
Okay, there's definitely something weird about this guy. But let's keep our minds on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go out into the alleyway. Charlotte, you said you basically strong arm
Yes.
Gale out. Yeah. And yeah, you find yourself back in the alleyway. There's still collapsed structures from when Max tried to stop her with magnetism. And yeah, you basically get down next to a few ripped open pipes. It seems like whatever was in these pipes has been turned off because you don't smell like gas or see water pooling out.
Good.
Good, yeah.
Yay! We didn't blow up the place, we only wrecked it a little bit.
Okay, so is there like a bench or something?
Not really.
This
but
is an industrial
there's-
district, an alleyway in a industrial district. Behind a grocery
No, there
shop.
isn't, but there's probably like a little electrical box that you can sit on.
Okay, I just sit her down, so it's harder for her to run away.
She seems like she's had the fight knocked out of her and isn't like she's not making moves to run away, but that could always change for sure.
Okay, so tell us what's going on. I think you could gather that I will notice if you lie, so please just be honest with us and we'll see what we can do.
I mean, I told you the important stuff already. I need money.
What do you need money for?
I don't know where you guys come from, but do you know what it costs to live in Waypoint?
Moon sort
Like,
of directs their thoughts at Max again. I actually don't. You have to pay to live?
Max just flashes you thoughts of like electric or water bills and rent and stuff.
That costs money?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you some other things, but only if you let me get away without my name appearing on any report.
Well, we can talk about this. Are you willing to tell us who you wanted to sell the cars to?
She seems to be thinking about what she can reveal
And-
without.
And I would
The
like
situation
to
turning
have a
worse for her.
very close look at those thoughts. Is this piercing
Okay.
the mask? Or is this unleashing?
Yeah, it's probably the closest to pierce the mask, but right now I think it's still a bit the conversation, unless you just want to mind read.
I think I would first try to see if she can be honest with us, because that was what I was asking. And if I get the feeling that she's lying or concealing something, then I would probe.
You definitely, right now, she is 100% concealing something. That is definitely a vibe that you're getting right now. She doesn't want to tell you certain things.
Okay, I will probe. I told her if she tries to lie to us, I
I mean, she isn't lying to you. There's just
Lying
things she
by
hasn't
omission.
isn't telling you.
yeah.
Is it lying by omission if she says, I don't know what I can tell you?
No, but I don't
That
think.
feels like being very honest about what she's not telling you.
But I think Moon is at this point, especially since like the entire thought process of people having privacy in their own mind is not something that Moon is overly familiar with. I think when she senses that Gale doesn't want to tell them, she will just try to find out anyway.
Okay, yeah, then pierce the mask.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah. That's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
You get potential.
I don't think
Plus-
there's anything we could do
You
here.
get plus mundane.
Yeah, my mundane is a tiny bit higher than it was before, but it's still a 4
Yeah.
in total with
Yeah.
the mundane.
Okay. Yeah, you mark potential.
I did.
And I think what happens is you try to like get into her mind with your powers, and she notices, and all of you see that she's like holding her head and shaking it, and sort of shouts, "What are you doing?
Moon,
Get out."
Moon, stop, please.
I told you to tell us the truth, and you didn't. Why don't you just tell us?
Moon, we
trying to
can't just
help.
force
Can't.
people to do that, okay?
We made a deal. She tells us what's going on. We consider letting her go. And she broke that deal, so
I told
find
you that I
out.
can't tell you everything.
then tell us something at least.
Moon, please be gentle with her.
Listen, if you help us catch them, then you won't be in any danger, right?
Catch who?
Well, whoever you're afraid of, apparently.
Who are you people even? Like, why are you in Riverside?
Well, we're the new resident superheroes.
We're the renegades.
Renegades. Well, Riverside doesn't really have superheroes.
No,
That's
it
why
does.
we're here.
We've had to look after ourselves down here, all right? And if you need help from a hero, you know, you gotta be able to afford help from a hero. There's not a lot of people who help you just out of their own goodwill.
Yes, but we do that.
Do you?
Well, we
Would you-
specifically turned down the SOS to do our thing, to do the right thing, you know?
I don't think you have to roll anything to notice that, like, her eyes go blank as you say that. Like, Moon definitely picks up on, like, genuine, on hard negative emotions, like, in the direction of genuine rage.
Towards the SOS or turning down the SOS?
Towards that you turn down the SOS.
Oh. I shoot the others a thought, oh, that hit a nerve.
You can practically feel her closing up. You turned down the SOS?
Yeah, they were kind of... I mean, Knight Rider, that's not someone I'm going to work for.
Well, we had some problems in how we wanted to deal with certain things, and therefore we decided to not join the SOS because we didn't want to betray our principles, because that's what superheroes stand for.
You people really don't know what life in Waypoint is all about. If you think you can be a superhero here without betraying some principles, then you haven't understood how everything works.
You consider yourself a superhero, so why don't you tell us?
I wish I could be a superhero. I wish one of the big teams would take me. I've been here for 3 years and nobody's picked up on anything yet. That's what happens to 99% of superheroes who come to this city to make it. We try for different teams. Maybe one takes us, maybe one kicks us out again. And in the end, we either leave or end up, she points around her like vaguely, here, in this place. The only place that doesn't look too hard at what kind of metas it takes.
Guys, are we sure we want to do this?
I turn to Gail and say to her, listen, you have incredible abilities, and you should use them for good and not for bad. Please don't betray that, at least.
A car has insurance. That's not that bad. I have to survive somehow, and not everybody can go the certified way.
I mean, Charlotte is right, your powers are pretty cool, but, like, do you even know any people? Because everyone knows you can't just become a superhero by having cool powers. You actually need to do some other stuff, like networking, you know? For example, we might have turned down the SOS, but in the end, we did get to know a few people, so we could make an introduction if you help us. You know, just helping each other out.
She shakes her head a little and looks down and says, I have my network, and I'm not gonna betray them just to get out of trouble. I'm gonna have to trust in what I have.
Well, who's not betraying their principles now?
What do you even mean?
Well, You said to be a hero here, you need to betray some principles, and yet you seem to be very loyal, even when we tell you that there's a chance you might get into the SOS.
Look, I've tried. I've tried to get in the SOS, and I've been turned down many times. When they decide that you're not for them, you're out, and you're not getting back in.
And then we come along, we had all the chances that you didn't get, and we just threw it away. Yeah, I get that. Moon sits down next to Gale and says, you know, I know what it feels like to try to get noticed by people that you admire, to get them to see that you have something to offer, that you are worth something, and just getting a pat on the head and being told, try harder next time. And that sucks. It really sucks. But you have tenacity. You have something that where I come from is just you try, you fail, and you move on. And no one tries for 3 years. That's just you people are just so tenacious. You stick with something. You were rejected by the SOS. You landed in this gutter where even the stones don't try to do anything more than just exist. And that's something to be proud of. The SOS doesn't deserve you in my books. And I would like to try this comfort role with my move, The Best of Them. When you comfort or support someone by telling them how they exemplify the best parts of Earth, roll freak instead of mundane.
Uh-huh. Okay, I'm gonna say the situation you had here would be a comfort or support role, and you can use your ability for that. It's been a while since we've been in this system, but it's you do something and then the DM tells you, hey, you can do that.
Okay, I was just gonna let you know I will. I'm trying to get my move. I mean, it doesn't make a difference because right now my savior and my mundane and my freak is exactly the same thing. But I noticed that I've never used any of my moves for anything, and I will do that from now on. Oh yes, that's double sixes.
Wow! Yay!
Yes.
Let me see.
That's a 13 then.
So when you come on a hit, they hear you. They mark potential cure condition, blah 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 blah, or shift labels if they open up to you. On a 10+, you can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself.
I would like to say that seeing someone that actually is still fighting, that has been in the situation of trying to strike out on their own in this sort of environment and is still fighting, might clear up my hopeless condition that I had from being very hopeless about our chances.
That makes sense.
And I'm gonna say that this clears their afraid condition.
Okay.
They still don't have a lot of hope about the situation, but they're less scared of you now.
I did it! I comforted someone successfully. It only took us like eight episodes to actually to have the empath actually comforting someone.
Yeah, I think you had a partial success once.
Yeah.
Yes.
She shakes her head a little, but seems a bit more upbeat, and turns to Moon and tries to telepathically talk back. Moon basically decides if this is broadcast to everyone or if only Moon gets to hear it.
I would say I have to make a conscious effort to get information from. I have to consciously decide to share stuff with other people.
Okay.
Where I come from, everyone would have just heard it. So it's basically an extra thing that Moon is doing by adding other people into the conversation.
Yeah, and you basically get the vibe from her that she would prefer it if only you heard it.
Okay, then the others will not be a part of this.
Look, I wish I could be up there. I wish I could do what they do, but I found my place, and it's not perfect, but I'm not gonna betray my team. We're all Riverside has, and a couple of newcomers, no matter how good their intentions are, who don't understand how this city works, you're not gonna do much except for cause property damage and arrest people. You can't kill a snake if you can't find its head.
I understand that. I would like to make you an offer. And Moon includes Max and Charlotte again. We are newcomers, as you said. Especially I am absolutely new to this town. You apparently know how it works. how about you show us the ropes in Riverside and we will forget about this little incident here? I'm not telling you to show us your deepest, darkest secrets and all your contacts, but show us what we need to do to actually make a difference here, to actually help people.
She seems to be thinking about it for a little bit and then turns to Moon again with her thoughts and says, I'm gonna need you to trust me. I can't do it right now, but I can bring you to some people tomorrow who you will learn a lot from.
Do I get the sense that she's telling the truth?
I'm thinking right now if you need to roll something for that. I'm gonna call that a pierce the mask.
Okay. That's a 10, 11.
Nice. So you
I would
can
say, what are you really planning and what do you intend to do?
first what you intend to do. You get the feeling that she can't lead you where she wants to lead you without basically announcing it first. So you get the feeling that she genuinely needs to basically prepare for getting you somewhere. You get the feeling that she is being honest with you.
Okay. That sounds good. All right, introductions. I'm Moon, by the way. This is Max and Charlotte.
Hi.
Ecstatic.
Oh, right. Oh, we have to talk about this. Do I actually use your superhero names for when I introduce you to... I mean, we're not really at the civilian superhero level right now, are we?
Yeah, what level of secret identity do you guys live on?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm public. Like,
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I can't imagine that Max hides
Nope.
her actual name.
nope. But I just want to be referred to as my superhero name is the thing.
Yeah.
I would like to keep my identity a little bit more private.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So please call me Starbolt.
She nods at you and says, I mean, if we're using the cool names, I'm going by Locksmith.
Nice one.
Oh, nice. Because you can create locks. That's cool. I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
I can lock and unlock things. Either like actual locks or create locks where there isn't anything locking the place. Force fields.
Cool.
That's kind of an ability that would be good for a villain, to be honest. But I'm glad you chose the other way.
I mean, I try. She looks down again, and looks at the other two. So, what do you plan to do here in Riverside?
Help people. That's all we want to do.
I hope that's true. She breathes out and gets up, sort of like looking at you questioningly. If the whole getting away thing is something that's supported by group consensus.
You should really go before the police arrive here.
Also, you need to tell us where we have to meet you tomorrow.
How about right here at noon?
Okay. And we trust you. But if you screw us over, then we're gonna have to do something. I'm just letting you know.
She nods and takes off in the opposite direction from the road you all arrived on.
Cool. We just made a friend, I think.
Well, I hope you're right.
And now we're gonna have to pretend that we just lost our first criminal.
Okay. Do y'all go back in?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes probably sense.
Okay. As you come inside, you notice that the screaming has stopped. And you see that the owner of the shop is sitting, has taken his seat again, and Enoch stands opposite him and like is filing some paperwork. Before he's handing it over
I'm
to him.
out of here.
Ah, poor guy.
As you guys come in, he looks at you and nods and waves all of you over to him. I need your signatures right here. This is like a standard superhero property damage contract. Basically just means that the city's gonna pay for it. I'm licensed, so...
All right.
Just, you can't have that pile up. Over time, they notice.
Makes sense.
You know, that's something I actually thought about from after the last episode was like, Hold on, in a world where there's actual superheroes, there would probably be something like superhero insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's superhero insurance. Especially, like, not everywhere, but definitely in Waypoint.
Yeah.
Also, I want you all to know that Max has a special superhero signature.
Ooh.
And it's basically the X, and the S looks like lightning.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like scribbling the Tatic.
Yeah. It's like you have this really cool first letter to your signature, and then the rest is just incomprehensible lines.
Exactly.
It's like a doctor's signature.
Yes.
As you go to sign the paper, he sort of like takes stock of the room and is like, what happened with the perp?
Guys, I cannot lie. Oh, actually, I don't think he can. Moon shoots the word test at Enoch and sees if anything happens.
What are we testing?
Oh, interesting. So you can hear me.
I can hear you, yeah.
I cannot hear you.
Oh, you're mental powers, right. Those don't work on me.
Yeah, I noticed. Okay, good to know.
It's because basically he takes one of his sleeves and rolls it up a little, and you see that his arm is covered in like glowing tattoos. And he shows them off and says, I have magic seals all over me, and they protect me from all sorts of things. Like, I keep adding new ones. I think one of the new ones might be protecting me from psychics.
Oh, I was hoping for a cyborg, honestly. Magic is not my thing.
I mean, sorry to disappoint, I guess.
While you're talking, Charlotte takes a little bit longer with her signature because she's seeing Max's signature and thinks, damn it, I should have thought of that. And she tries to come up with something on the spot.
I mean, Starbolt starts with an S, and that's pretty good for a lightning bolt, right?
Yeah.
The A can be a star or something like that.
You
Okay.
could do
yeah.
the L in bold as a lightning bolt. You could just write Starbolt and have like a bolt through the O or something.
Well, I'm coming up with something, but it doesn't look great.
Workshop it.
Yeah.
Moon just writes the word moon in their people's script.
But yeah, to get back to this,
Yeah.
perp, what happened?
Well, she had a little more fight in her than we expected, so she kind of got away. Sorry.
Got away. All right. He, you can't really see him looking at you because he has this hood that hides most of his face. But like he kind of like you definitely get the vibe. Really though? But he seems to drop it pretty quickly.
I don't get this vibe. I get nothing
Yeah,
from him.
you probably don't. You don't get body language yet.
Nope, at all.
And he hands the papers over to the owner of the shop and says, "That should be all right then. If you have any trouble here, I live in 112A. That's right around the corner." And he gets away from the shopkeep.
Hold
and,
on. It's 112A.
Yes.
I mean, this is me, Vio, speaking.
It's Dockside Road 112A.
Okay.
That was mentioned last episode.
Yeah, I just made the 221B.
Yeah.
I just
yeah.
It took me like a few months to get that one, apparently.
He makes his way to the door and basically like does a subtle wave again towards you to follow him.
Well, I guess we follow him because it's probably very uncomfortable staying in the store.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get a vibe check from the store clerk? I assume he's still angry, or is this more like,
Yeah,
yay,
but
cool,
it's
easy
simmering.
payout?
It's simmering down.
Okay.
It's simmering down. He seems to be he's still annoyed because he's gonna have to replace all of that, but now at least he knows that someone's paying for it.
Okay.
Something he doesn't seem to be used to. And yeah, you go out on the road, and basically it's just like 100 feet to the other side of the road and to the building you were originally headed to. And it appears to be like a large dockside warehouse, essentially. Like it looks like this giant red brick building, not a lot of features. Yeah, it just appears to be a warehouse of some sort. So, you are a super team then? I'm sorry, I'm not great at small talk.
Yeah, we're the renegades.
All right, who's the leader?
I am. I'm Starbolt.
Starbolt. Cool. He continues walking silently and leads you to the door, which he opens, not in like a cool sci-fi way. He just pulls out a key and opens the door.
How disappointing.
And leads you all in. And inside you basically see this very, very thin brick hallway with like a set of stairs that basically only one person at a time can walk up. Everything is...
Oh no, it's
not creaking because it's all out of brick, but it's cold. It's a very cold building, not just from like actual temperature, but like very cold vibe.
Yeah.
And he goes up the stairs, and as he walks up, he talks to you again. I looked at your files. They phoned me that you were looking for a place to be heroes.
Yep.
Who phoned you?
The office. There was the Office of Superhero Affairs.
Oh, okay.
Looks like you guys were... He turns towards Charlotte a little, who he has met before. Not that content with the SOS.
Yeah, to be honest, we didn't like how they handled things, and it was basically just like corruption, and I can't stand for that. It's just not right. You know, if people are evil and do bad things, they need to be punished no matter their, social standing.
He nods. Yeah.
I'm guessing you're familiar with that.
Yeah. I've had my own past with the SOS, and it was not the most friendly relationship either.
Can we park a spaceship on the roof?
I was just wondering when the best/worst moment would be to ask this question.
He basically halts at that, and that you see under the hood, basically the only thing you can see well is his mouth, and you see him smile, and instead of answering, he waves you through a door at the top of the staircase. And as you emerge from the door, you basically see that this small hallway is basically like a separate room that, now that you're on top of, is just at the edge of this giant warehouse that seems to be empty for the most part. You see that there's a lot of space there. You see, as you look at the ceiling of the hall, that it appears to be made of two giant metal plates that appear to be able to be opened up.
Is this a ceiling that can open up? Do we have an opening in the ceiling? Oh my god, this is amazing!
Is there enough space for your spaceship?
Oh yeah. It's not that big.
All right, then yeah, the answer is yeah.
Oh my god, this is cool. That reminds me of my old hangar back home, but a bit bigger actually. Oh, there's so much space. Oh, guys, I can do a workshop here and a workbench over there, and one sort of runs into the middle of the warehouse and just starts sending you images of ways to put cool alien tech stuff everywhere.
As Moon does that, he pulls down his hood, actually. And you see that under the hood, he is some guy you have not seen before. And you can see something that you actually do notice is that these tattoos that you've seen on his arm, there's some of them on his head too. Like, he's bald, and under the where his hair would probably be, there's some more of these.
Hey, bald gang.
Hey. He says it was pretty cheap. It was cheaper to buy a warehouse than buy like a normal house out here. So I hope this works for whatever you need for your super heroics.
I think it makes a pretty good hero cave.
I think we can make it work.
Charlotte, we could do like a racetrack around the edge, so you can practice, and I can actually get some great measurements, and then there's so much metal here. We could do a parkour thing so that Max, you can practice your magnetizing stuff to stuff. Also, I thought about making this sort of harness thing, because then next time when we all fall into an elevator, that Max can actually like pull us out of there with metal stuff. We could practice that here very well. Also, I want a hammock.
There are also sleeping quarters.
Can I hang a hammock in there?
Yeah, why not?
Okay,
sure.
Okay, we're taking this job, right? Right?
Charlotte just stands there and smiles because it's kind of adorable how excited Moon is.
He leads you to another set of doors up there on that clearing basically you're currently on that lead to like another room that's basically built on top of it, on top of this elevated area. A set of double doors that he opens up, and as you walk inside you see a classic superhero sight. You see a large round table with a cloth draped over it and a couple of chairs around it. You see that there are actually 3 chairs set up around it already, but based on the level of dust on them, they seem to be they probably haven't been prepared for you specifically. And he basically leads you inside and says, little control area. He pulls on the rug and you see that it's a wooden table from the looks of it, with some nice symbols engraved on it and digital space in the middle, basically like a tablet built into the table.
Moon runs over and starts fiddling with it.
That's amazing.
What's the security system like?
Look into it if you want. I'm not the techie guy. I used to have... he sort of gets lost in his own trail of thoughts and stops himself. Well, another team used this at some point.
You can...
Everything should still be in place.
You guys can sense that Moon is like super frustrated that they can't get anything from Enoch. Because that's the kind of stuff that is just... It's just so weird to not be able to like sense stuff from someone and just having it to go like through your guys' interpretation.
You can familiarize yourself with this whenever you want. Just real quick, I gotta ask, what exactly happened with the perp?
Well, we kind of let her go.
He nods matter-of-factly at that.
She was just desperate, and she actually wants to help us navigate this part of the city here, so we thought that would be better. And we can also, keep an eye on her.
Also, we made I think it's what the people in the police procedurals call a street contact.
I mean, that's a good way to go about it. I wasn't sure which way you would choose, but getting more info from the person is definitely a good way to solve a situation like this.
Speaking of more info, I was thinking like maybe we could do a weekly citizen forum just to, have the people come to us with their problems, get in touch with them. Maybe the first one even tomorrow. Like tomorrow morning would be a pretty great time. Have the first people show up, get in touch with them, maybe, make sure they know they can come to us.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, sounds good.
Max,
Whatever you want to try out.
I got a sense for this place. I can tell you right now, nobody will come. Maybe 2 people. This is not the kind of neighborhood where people like to hang out.
Well, then we'll help 2 people.
Also, if you prove yourself over time, maybe that will change.
I just think even if one person shows up, it's one person that's going to listen to us, and maybe come to us for help.
I think that's a good idea. We just need to, organize it and let people know.
Also, Enoch, you seemed to know about this paperwork stuff, and Noon fishes out the paperwork for registering a spaceship. Can you deal with that? That's not really my sort of area of expertise.
How about this? I teach you how to do it. You know what they say? Register a man's spaceship and his spaceship is registered once. Teach a man how to register a spaceship and he can do it for the rest of his life.
Moon sort of cocks their head and I get that this is sort of a metaphor thing, but I'm not really getting it.
That's definitely a saying here.
Moon is like, wait, am I a man?
Also, I only have to register it once. What? Fine.
Maybe you get others. It doesn't matter. Either way.
Oh, I would be up for more spaceships. Oh, guys, I could make you all stuff. Max and I, we have to keep up with Charlotte anyway, so I could do some vehicle stuff.
That's true. Also, it just looks weird when superheroes are taking the bus.
Also, don't forget to make like a cool lightning design. We need that.
That all sounds good. But let's not put the cart before the horse here. You just arrived in this part of town, and you already basically picked up your first case here. So this is going to be a good opportunity for you to familiarize yourself with the area. And the forum idea is a good one. I don't know how much people would jump on it, but Riverside has been in desperate need of actual heroes for a good while now. And I'm excited to see what you guys can accomplish here. He basically wistfully brushes the table, and you see that his hand moves over one of the symbols engraved on it, which seems pretty familiar to you. You've seen the same symbol in some of his tattoos. This part of town, it doesn't have any hope left in it, and maybe you can help on that front.
I really hope so.
We definitely can.
This is gonna be so awesome.
Can I ask you something? And I try to, maneuver him a little bit away from the others.
Sure.
So, you came up to me in front of the SOS. Why did you do that? And how did you know I was there?
I saw how you looked at that statue. You're not the only person to come there, but usually, it's tourists. It's people who don't understand what that symbol meant. Starbolt was there before all of us. Starbolt was a hero before Waypoint existed. And he was someone who knew what he wanted the world to be. As I told you back then, I think his ideas were pretty naive. But it's also his ideas that basically what we imagine as a superhero now, in a lot of ways, evolved from. You looked at it in a way that the other people that came to that statue didn't. And I just thought, maybe you can see something that others can't. And judging by how you turned down the SOS, I think I was right.
Well, thank you. I will do my best to live up to him. I know it's a big thing, but I want to.
It is a big thing, but I think you can do better than live up to him if you really put your heart and soul into it.
Wow, thank you.
He seems, you get the vibe that he's slightly awkward with a bit more of a deeper conversation, but he puts his hand on your shoulder and goes back to the table and kind of leans over to press a button on the tablet in the middle, and you see that the whole room kind of darkens down and a light over the table puts everything into stark contrast.
Hologram? Hologram? Please tell me you have holograms.
It's not a hologram, but it's still very dramatic lighting. And he takes a little step back as all of you stand there next to these 3 chairs, and he says to you, "So, renegades, let's get going."
Enoch, I have one big question. Where is the next hot dog stand?
Enoch walks over to the window and says, "There's actually one just right down the street." And as he walks over, you notice on the thick metal sheets of the roof the sound of rain falling down. You hear this plinking, which is very loud inside this giant hall. And he looks out of the window and says, "Well, maybe tomorrow. Looks like bad weather." Locksmith runs through the alleyways of Riverside, her feet squelching as they hit the puddles all over the docks. As she reaches her destination, her fist bangs on a large metal garage door. The rain swallows the noise, something she is thankful for, at least in the beginning. Calling attention to herself is the exact opposite of what she wants, she thinks. But after a minute of banging, there is still no answer, and she begins to hope for a bit of attention at least. "Hello?" No answer. "Hello?" she asks louder now. "They're not gonna answer you, dear." She spins around, pulling down her wet hood in hopes of getting better vision of her opponent. She raises her hand to set up one of her walls. There's a strange tall figure there, in the shadows, barely visible. "You said things, dear, to the wrong people. Things they won't like knowing, you said." She shivers in the rain, her hands shaky, but she can see the rain pooling atop the invisible wall she crafted, which grants her at least some sense of stability. Who the fuck are you? The figure walks up to her. It seems to have noticed the wall as well, and as it turns its face up to look at it more closely, the moonlight hits its face, or rather, what it's hidden behind. Locksmith sees a mask there, a vaguely, strangely familiar white facsimile of human features, with a tall hat resting on top of it. I asked you a question! The figure lowers its face and turns it towards Locksmith. Without hesitation, it walks right through the wall. Fear runs cold through her body, mixing with the rain and sending shivers down her spine. The creature in the hat hasn't even shown a sign of hesitation as it walks right up to her, as if a wall didn't exist at all. The mask is right in front of her now. Its wearer's voice is full and cold. I will be asking the questions, dear. We have a lot to talk about. And that's where we end this episode.
Oh.
Don't you dare do anything to Gale. As soon
Gale,
as you started the outro with her, I was like, oh no, he's gonna kill her. Oh no, this will be a find out we will find her like dead in an alleyway somewhere, and we will have to figure out what she wanted to show us and stuff like that, and get good into a crisis.
I'm actually really, I did not know, I deliberately didn't make a lot of notes on how the scene with Gale will develop, just basically, if you do that or this, she might react this or that way, because I really wanted to leave it open how it ends up. But I'm really glad it ended up in this place, because that works really well with this ending that I had planned.
I mean, no matter what happens, something will happen to her.
Honestly, I was thinking something like that, because that's like what usually happens when people are like, yeah, I will tell you, but at a later date.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I will tell you everything. Just give me one day.
But yeah, that's this episode. It was mainly like a setup episode of a little bit, where we get to the point of like, okay, this is what we're gonna do next episode, so I can actually make notes on it. I'm happy with it. I'm glad we're back. I'm glad we're back to recording.
Yay.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Very fun.
And can't wait for all of you audience to listen to it. Do you guys have anything else to say? Anything else before we end out this episode?
One important thing for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
We still have not gotten any pictures of pets. I'm very sad about
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Please change this.
If you want to send pet pictures to us or any
Please.
other information,
I beg of you.
we still have a lot of social media you can go to. We have a TikTok, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, all at Waypoint Pod. Oh, we also have a Tumblr now. That one's new. So also Tumblr, Waypoint Pod. We actually always had the Tumblr. We just forgot all about it. And something special on our social media channels, just until the end of January, we're holding a giveaway right now. If you listen to this, you can join in. You can join in once on any of these platforms, on Twitter, on Tumblr, on TikTok. The conditions for joining are a little bit different, but there's like posts we made on all of them that explain how to do it. And you can win a few custom dice that we made in the colors of the Waypoint logo. You can win like lightning bolt earrings. You can win lightning bolt keychains in the colors of Starbolt and Ecstatic's costumes. Yeah, if you want to join in that giveaway until the end of January on all of our social medias, usually you'll have to subscribe and do another thing. So check those out. And
we have an email address.
Yeah, text. We also have an email address, waypointheroes@gmail.com, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, waypointheroes@gmail.com. Heroes with OE, which is, I think, the American spelling. Or the British spelling? I don't know. It's
both.
one of them.
There's a
It's
difference.
both? Okay, I think one of them is OS, one of them is OES.
I've never seen it as anything but OES.
Okay, I've seen OS, but maybe that was just wrong. Either way, it's waypointheroesoes@gmail.com. You can also send us an email. And we hope you'll come back to us next time in 2 weeks. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.